Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Humbo here, and if you're clicking on this video today, you are here to learn how to improve on keyboard and mouse 10 times faster in 1 week. I promise you guys came to the right place, man. I'm gonna be going over some absolutely insane tips, things that are pretty unique. I bet you haven't seen them in other tip videos like this. Make sure you guys just drop a like for me, drop a sub. We're about to hit 25,000 subscribers for New Year's, and also I am live streaming on Twitch every single morning. Road to Twitch partner, link will be in the description to my Twitch if you guys want to drop a follow. But yeah, guys, without further ado, let's get into these tips to improve 10 times faster, baby. All right, guys, so getting right into it, chances are if you're clicking on this video, you might have just gotten a PC or a keyboard or a mouse and you are switching, or a couple weeks, maybe a couple months into switching, and it's around Christmas time right now as I'm recording this video. So I just want to let you guys know, if you're early, we're going to start off with a really basic tip. Don't get frustrated, man. Listen, guys, I remember when I first switched to keyboard and mouse and was getting used to it and learning my mechanics and all this stuff, it felt so overwhelming, and I felt like there was something wrong with me, or I was different from these other people who were grinding it out. It just wasn't clicking for me, and I was getting really frustrated really fast. I promise you guys, that is completely normal. Everybody who has ever switched to keyboard and mouse, everyone who's grinding to get the insane mechs, the edit speed, the builds, your aim, all that stuff, went through the horrible moment where you couldn't even do 90s right, and then you learned 90s and you were so happy when you did that consistently, and then you learned how to double edit and you got the timing down a little bit. Like, these moments, man, really appreciate them, because I'm telling you what, guys, the progression you make on a keyboard and mouse as you get better, it's so much fun. It's a totally different game. It's like getting to do everything all over again and really challenge yourself. So look at it with that mindset going into it. I promise it'll make the experience so much better. All right, guys, getting right into tip number 2, and this is going to cover a lot of really important things, but I'm going to have a very big warning on it as well. So guys, you want to make sure that your mouse and keyboard, your keybinds, your sensitivity, all these things are putting you in a position to win, right? Now, here's the warning. Some people spend months chasing different keybinds and different keyboards. They're always looking for the next best thing, different mice. I'm telling you what, guys, the best mouse is the one you're used to, the one you practice with a ton. The best keyboard is the one you practice with a ton. It's not always about what is actually the fastest. It's about what are you used to, what are you comfortable with. The only things that I say are cardinal rules that you must follow. Here we go. Make sure you guys get a mouse that has 2 side buttons on it, because you're going to want to use those side buttons to build. This will make your movement much better, because then you can have all fingers on WASD and be building your walls and your floors. I have a lot of bind videos if you guys want to check those out. But yeah, so have 2 mouse buttons, have mouse buttons on your gaming mice, okay? So that's a huge thing that you need. Another thing that's going to put you guys in a big position, and I'm sure a lot of you know this, you guys need to have a non-membrane keyboard. You don't want a membrane keyboard, you want a mechanical keyboard, okay? Any mechanical keyboard really is just a world ahead of a membrane keyboard. So if you guys have a membrane keyboard, you're gonna wanna get rid of that, man, as soon as you can. This is gonna make a huge difference in your gameplay, those 2 things right there. Now, another thing, guys, a lot of you tell me you have trouble with your aim, and I remember that too, and I still have some trouble with my aim. Keyboard aim is very hard, guys, and it takes a lot of practice. But the number 1 tip I can recommend right now, you guys need to go into things like BHE fill or box fight fill, where you can just get into a ton of fights and practice your aim and zero in on what your problem is. If you're over flicking, guys, you should be lowering your sense a little bit every single day to dial in the right sensitivity. So a lot of people ask me, how do I find the right sense? Well, this is my answer. So let's say you're 800 DPI and your sense is way too high. It's like 20%, 20%, or 18%, 18% on your X and Y. Here's what I would recommend. Instead of just changing your sense all the way down, right, to like 9%, 9%, or doing some huge rapid change up or down, do an increment of 0.2% every day, or the 1/5 of 1% on your X and Y. So just move it by 0.2 clicks every day, up or down, whatever direction you want to go. Making small changes won't mess with your muscle memory as much, and it'll make your sensitivity change over time much more comfortable, and you won't be feeling this insane loss of muscle memory like you guys might be experiencing. All right, guys, now hear me out. This is probably the most important tip that I can give you guys on this entire subject in Fortnite, gaming, esports, all of it. Stop making excuses, guys. I promise you it is killing you. Listen, guys, I have the exact same problem with this. My ping can be really iffy sometimes, especially in arena. I can be getting 50, 60 ping at times, and that is super bothersome for me. I'm on 60 hertz monitor. I'm not on a 144 hertz monitor. There's so many things to be complaining about. All of us have things to be complaining about. It's very rare that you're gonna actually be on the 0 ping on the server. You're gonna have all the monitors and all the PC specs and everything, or you're an Xbox or you're a console keyboard and mouse per se. And guys, listen, I promise you these excuses are killing your growth, man. They're making you not improve, because look, Think about it like this, guys. You might be right. You might have died because of those things that are hindering you that you can't control. But what does it change? What are you actually accomplishing when you do that? All you really should be doing is, rather you're actually right or wrong, diagnose what you could have done better. Is there anything you could have done? Could you have rotated better? Could you have matted up better? Could you have taken your time with the fight more? Could you have put in more time on your aim and practiced some aim trainers or gone in and warmed up more? Is there anything that you did wrong? Now, granted, it really might not be your fault. But if you pretend like it is your fault every time, and look guys, I struggle with this as much as anybody else, but the person who can put as much of it on themselves as possible and find as many things to correct as possible in their gameplay is going to go the furthest with this, and this tip alone could make you become just astronomically better. I mean, seriously guys, think about your upside when you start blaming everything on yourself. If your duo throws your bread, you should have played better. You should have carried him. You should have called it out earlier. Put it on yourself, man. I promise you, I need to work on this too once again, man. This is the biggest tip I can give, guys. Let's get right into the next one, man. Let's go, baby. Take responsibility, boys. Another massive tip that I can give you guys, don't practice one area of your gameplay too much and not on the others. So what a lot of people will do is they will get really confident in one area, rather that's building in creative, zone wars, box fights, anything, you know, they just get too comfortable playing one way and they don't expand themselves. They don't start to learn how to do things that they're not comfortable with. They sit in this comfort zone that they make, and then that's what they play every day. And you guys are messing up big time, man. It is so worth going into game modes that you're not comfortable with. Maybe you're bad at PGs and you're decent at box fights, or the other way around. You're only doing playgrounds or 1v1s and you're not doing box fights. You're not practicing those types of mechanics because you're not as good at it. I'm telling you guys, taking the ego hit and going in there and dying over and over, even if it really upsets you, is the best way to improve, man. Working on your weaknesses. Guys, I've had some people comment that, oh my gosh, everything is my weakness right now. Guys, once again, like we started this video out, that is totally fine as well, man. I'm telling you, it's all about your mindset. If you guys have a positive mindset and you're confident that if you put in the hard work, you'll get better over time, you will succeed so much further than other people who are doing the same thing as you, man. You guys can go so far with this if you guys just take these tips and really apply them, guys. I'm really not just talking to hear myself talk, you know, I really want to help you, and I've just seen all these comments that I've been getting, and I'm so excited with the value we're bringing, man. Let's get into the next tip. All right, guys, so now this tip might take you for a little bit of a curveball, and it might be a little too high level for some of you guys, but I promise it will yield absolutely huge results if you guys can actually have the patience for it. But basically, this is simply duo queuing as a solo. Okay, so this is like a super hard one, and especially if you're pretty new to keyboard and mouse, or you're a couple months in even, this is going to be very challenging. But listen, even if you're dropping hot as a solo duo and you're dying a lot, getting used to fighting two people at once is going to make you so much better. Guys, I don't know if any of you ever played baseball, but if you know when you put a donut on a baseball bat and it makes it way heavier when you're swinging it, it's way more difficult. Then when you take that donut off the bat, it feels so much lighter. You feel like you have so much more control, and the same is true for taking on multiple opponents at once. If you guys are training against two players, when it's actually time to go one-on-one in the arena, it is going to feel so much less stressful for you. And yes, at first you are going to die so much doing that, and it's going to drive you crazy because this is obviously very unfair. You're putting yourself in an unfair situation, and obviously that's going to be mentally testing. It's going to be very stressful. You're going to be getting spammed. You're definitely not going to feel great. But think about what I'm saying, guys. You're taking on two opponents. Now, this is for maybe a couple months in, 1 or 2 months in, once you guys have a little bit of your feet underneath you. But I'm telling you guys, another huge thing, man, just learn how to breathe during your fights, bro. Learn how to relax. I know a lot of you guys panic so bad during fights. I used to all the time. Like, you would get pressed, and the things that you were doing in creative just completely fall apart. Like, all this stuff that you thought you had down is just gone, and you feel super frustrated about that. But, dude, it's so normal. So, like, it's just really good to remember that. I think, like, all this stuff that you guys are having problems with, all this stuff that you might be like insecure about or freaking out about, or you're getting anxiety because you're wondering if you just wasted your money. You're like, oh my gosh, I got this nice keyboard, or my parents got me a PC for Christmas, or I might get one, and I really hope that I can actually be as good as I want and like achieve, you know, what I set out to do. But listen, you guys can do it. These have been some really big, like, wide mindset tips, because I think it's so important to have this stuff down right. Because yeah, you can talk about sensitivity changes, and you can talk about like memorizing binds and clicking through and all that, like, you know, clicking your binds before you go to sleep and all this stuff. But the real stuff that actually makes you really good at this is consistent practice. Believing that if you have a good mindset, you work hard, and you actually get out of your comfort zone and do these types of tips that I've been talking about. We're talking about taking on multiple players, playing multiple game modes, switching in and out of game modes, all this stuff. It will actually make you so much better, and that you can really do this over time. If you believe in yourself, you really can get there, man. And that's gonna wrap this video up, man. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I hope I brought you guys some value. It's been your boy Humble, man. Please make sure you guys drop a sub. Go follow the Twitch stream, baby. We're coming up on 25,000 on Twitch, working towards Twitch partnership. And yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a great Christmas if this is before or after, whenever you're seeing it. And yeah, man, peace.